Hi everyone. I have never made a video before, so this could go one of two ways. Let's hope it goes well. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk about something that I heard about when we first moved to California, but really didn't put any thought or effort into. But I heard about it again recently and decided to kind of check back in it. And so now it's something that I'm sort of interested in, and I want to share it, especially for my MilSew friends and just stay-at-home moms, just people that want to have something to do and maybe make a little money, but they don't want to sell something. Because that was kind of always my situation is, of course, everyone likes to make extra money, but I am not a salesperson. I am not good at selling things to people. No. So anyways, what this company is, it's called VIP Kid. Some of you might have heard of it, some of you might have not. I never heard of it until we moved out here, like never on the East Coast have ever heard of it at all. I don't think it's kind of a relatively new company. I don't think it's been around for very long, maybe a couple of years. But what it is it is a company based out of Beijing, and you can teach Chinese students how to speak English. So it seems kind of simple. I think it is relatively simple. But anyways, like I said, I'd heard about it when we first moved out here. I had a friend that was interested in it, and I really didn't put any other thought into it other than, oh, that seems neat, and just kind of went about my daily life. Recently, I found out that there's another girl on base that's doing it, and she's like loving it, and I thought maybe I should check back into it. So this video, I'm kind of just going to talk about what it is and what they do, and then the application process, should you decide that this is something that you are interested in. So anyways, like I said, it is a company based out of Beijing, and they hire independent contractors, so you and I and whoever, teachers, to teach Chinese, or sorry, I take that back, teach English to Chinese students. So I guess I'll start with talking about the pay because that's really what everyone is interested in. It is each class is 25 minutes, and the base pay is $7 to $9 a class. So you could essentially be making $14 to $18 an hour, 2 classes, whatever. You can do the math. This is based on your credentials. I have no teaching credentials. I'm not a teacher, but the only thing you need to be considered for this is a bachelor's degree in something. It doesn't matter what. My bachelor's is in biology, has absolutely nothing to do with English, and my master's is in business, which also nothing really to do with English. So you kind of just need to have a degree. My friend that originally was going to do it in the beginning, she has not completed her bachelor's, but she's working on it, and I think that that was fine with them too, as long as they know that you are sort of working towards some sort of college degree. Obviously, if you have teaching experience or credentials, like that is a huge plus. And I want to say in the application process, the question is, you are supposed to have it's either 1 or 2 or more years of experience in teaching. I don't know if this counts, but I used it. I interned with 4th grade back when I was in high school, and then I've done a lot of training in my career, so training to me is teaching, and I've trained a lot of people that sort of English was not their first language, so to me that worked, and they accepted it, so all is well. So anyways, the application process works a little bit like this. You can go online, and like I said, anybody can apply, it doesn't matter, as long as you have that bachelor's or some sort of college degree. The first thing you will have to do is submit or agree to a demo. This is where they're going to give you sort of like a mock class. I want to say it was 7 or 8 slides. I could be totally wrong. And you have to teach them and show that you can do it. One thing that is interesting about this is you have to be willing 110% to get out of your comfort zone, because the type of teaching you can Google or you can YouTube VIP Kid mock class, and you will see that this is not a lot of people's normal personality. You have to be so upbeat and energetic and out of your element. You have to speak slowly. You have to use a lot of props, a lot of hand movements. It is very not a normal thing. So you have to be willing to do that, because they will not hire you if if you just sit there talking to them like I'm talking to you. It's a lot more that goes into it. But like I said, you can YouTube or Google the videos and you can see. So I opted to do the live demo with another person because I figured that looks better anyways. When I went to do it, my computer was having issues and the internet was not working, so that did not end up happening, which obviously had me very discouraged. I thought, okay, well then my internet speed's not going to be, if it's not good enough to do the demo, it's not going to be good enough to do a class, so I'm just going to forget about it. They sent me a lot of information on technical stuff, and then David knows things about computers, so we got it working and everything's okay. And so the second time around, you can record your demo. I just recorded mine. They kind of want you to say a couple things about yourself. I sort of said my name, like where I live, blah, blah, blah. And then they give you essentially 10 minutes to go through those slides and teach. So that's what I did. I use props, use hand movements, my little reward system, blah, blah, blah. So they sent me an email maybe like a day or two later that had gone well and I can move on to the next process. So the second part of the application process is the certification section. So that is where they have level 2, level 3, and then level 4, I think. Level 2 is your kids like 5 to 8 years old. I mean, your little kids that are just now learning English. And that's what I decided to do because that's sort of the easiest, apple, ball, cat, easy words, not a lot that goes into it. Level 2 is a little bit more advanced, and level 3 is like your 10, 11, 12-year-old kids that have been learning English for several years, and they are like on top of it and moving on. You can get certified in 1, 2, 3. You can get certified in all of them. It does not matter. I am only certified right now in level 2. I plan to get all of them, but not yet. That's too much work. So the best advice I can give for that is they'll have workshops open, and you need to attend that workshop. It is 2 hours long, and be very careful because these workshops are in Central Time. So I picked like 10 a.m. my time, but that is not 10 a.m. Central Time. So I had to get up at 8 a.m. and thank God I looked at it because I would have been late and I would have missed that workshop. It would have looked bad, blah, blah, blah. So pay attention to that part of it. But it's 2 hours long. You will get on there and you'll be on there with a couple of coaches. One of my coaches was from Charlotte, North Carolina, so that was really cool. And then I think that I was in a group of 8 other potential teachers trying to get certified in that level, and then our coach. And you go through these 2 mock classes. So there's an A and a B. And when you go to take your first mock class with your mentor, as they call it, your mentor is going to go on there and say, I want you to teach A or I want you to teach B. But you have to be prepared for both because you have no idea which one they're going to pick. I was lucky. My first mentor asked me, which one do you want to teach? And I liked A better, so I picked A. And thank goodness my second mock class, my mentor also told me to teach A. So for me, things worked out. I'm sure it doesn't work out with, for everybody that way, but I got very lucky. So you will complete the workshop. They give you great information. I mean, I had like pages of stuff written down of things to do. They'll talk about TPR. They'll talk about IPAE. I mean, just all this information that will help you to be a better VIP Kid teacher. So after that, you sort of book your mock class. You only have 3 days to do that. So this is not for the faint at heart. I mean, if you are trying to do this, you really have to be on top of it. You don't get to just decide, I want to do it, but I can't do it today, so I'm going to put it off for a week. Like, you only have a certain number of days to get through this application process. So you have like 3 days to do the mock class, and like I said, you'll get on there with a mentor and you'll do the mock class. Your mentor will act like a 5-year-old student, And I mean, really act like a 5-year-old student. It is awkward. You've got somebody on the other side of you that is experienced and older than you are, probably not, because no, my guy was pretty young. But anyways, not the point. They will act like a 5-year-old student, and it will be weird. But you just have to roll with it and pretend like they are 5 years old and you are their teacher. At the end of it, they'll tell you the things you did well, and then they will tell you the things that you need to improve on. And then they will send out a list of your pros and cons to VIP Kid. VIP Kid will then come back to you and say, great, you did a good job, you passed, let's move on. Or you need a little bit more work, we're gonna send you to a second mock class. I needed a little bit more work. I forgot. I'm one of those people I prepare pretty well, but then I get into things and completely forget everything that I have learned or prepared for. And that is what happened to me in the first try. And I was just really nervous, like, oh my God, this is like, this is going to decide my fate. And I missed a lot of things. So I ended up going to a second mock class, and I did that the very next day. I mean, like, I think you have 3 more days to pick that. I did it the very next day. This time I had a different person who also picked for me to do letter A of the classes that you could choose from, and we got done, and I still forgot a lot of things, and I didn't meet the time restraints. I went over my time. You only have 10 minutes to teach the class, and I went over my 10 minutes. So I thought for sure at the end of that, like, okay, this is done. I am not cut out for this. I'm garbage. No. She sent her stuff off, and they responded with me that I passed. So I think that they just want to see that you're taking the feedback they're giving you and implementing it. Because I did take the negative feedback from my mock class 1, and I implemented it into my mock class 2, but then I kind of forgot the things I did well in my first one and forgot to do them again. So it doesn't really matter, but I passed. Great. So then after that, you're going to go into the next section of that is like all of your background information. So you have to enter, your name, social security number, blah, blah, blah. You have to fill out a tax form because, as I said, you are an independent contractor. You don't technically work for, you are not employed by VIP Kid. You're not guaranteed a certain number of hours. You are not guaranteed to get paid any kind of amount of money. You are not guaranteed anything at all. You just simply work for them should somebody book your class. So you have to fill out a form. I can't remember I don't know anything about taxes, so I don't know what the form was, but it was just simple stuff that you put in. And then you sort of put a couple of pictures of yourself, professional pictures, a little short video on like your name, you're excited to meet your students, blah, blah, blah. And then this is the important part. This is where your degrees come into effect. You have to take a picture of your degree. So I had a picture of my master's degree for some reason, like off my Instagram, I don't know. And so I posted that, but I did not have a picture of my bachelor's degree. And my mom was not going to tear up my little framed degrees so that I could get a picture of that. So I used my transcript, and it got approved. So if you can just get a transcript or some kind of picture of your degree from somewhere and post that, it will work. Also, be sure to let them know my name has changed. Obviously, I'm married. The name on my degrees is not my name now. So also put that information in there somewhere just so that they know that you are the same person, just you're married and your name has changed. Let's see, what else do you put in the background information? I think that's all. And then it should take 2 to 5 days for them to come back and you're approved or not. Mine took 1 day. I started this yesterday. Today my stuff came back. So after that, they'll take you to your contract and you'll sign your contract. Mind you, like I said, you're not guaranteed anything. This is just, I think the good thing about this is if you want to work, you can open up all your time slots. If you don't want to work, you don't have to open up any of your time slots. But you're not guaranteed anything. This, I would not say, will equate to a 40-hour-a-week full-time job for a lot of people. This is just sort of something if you want to do it on the side to make a little bit of extra cash. If you're interested in getting some sort of teaching on your resume, if you're just interested in ESL teaching, whatever the case may be, this is probably a good idea, but probably not I think for some people, they make it a full-time job and they make great money at it. Not everybody. Which brings me into, I have the short end of the stick. Peak times in China are like, I don't even remember, but for me to teach at the peak times in China, that for here is 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. If I'm going to teach those peak hours when all the kids are learning, I got to be awake from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And that really sucks. That's when I sleep. And so for my East Coast friends, that's a little bit easier because I want to say for you guys, that's going to be 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Which, I mean, I get up early, so that's fine. But anyways, somebody's outside my door, some child. But, so those hours are a little bit shoddy for your West Coast friends, but for my East Coast friends, that should be okay. Or, you can wake up, and it just depends on how much how motivated you are. Everybody's different. But, so there's that as far as the times. On weekends, they do it a little bit different. I have every time slot open on the weekends because on the weekends it's different. They're not in school. It's okay. So you can open up all your time slots. There's a lot of information I'm not going to give you right now because that's just kind of too in depth. But they have what's called a short notice, and you can open up a time slot and it can get booked 24 hours before that time slot. However, just mind you, it could also get booked 30 minutes before that time slot is supposed to open. So just be cautious of that. But yeah, like I said, this is not for the faint at heart. Don't think that you can just sit there and, like I am right now, and teach. You have to have, they're very peculiar. You need to have a headset. I ordered one off Amazon for $8. And it works fine. You need to have a stable internet connection. You need to be free from distractions and interruptions. This is a big thing. If you have a newborn baby and you think that you can do this job, you probably can. However, if you're in the middle of a class and that baby cries, that's going to be a problem for them. You need to be, for 25 minutes, it is just you and the student. Nothing can interrupt you. Lock your door. Make sure people are asleep, nobody's in your house. It is just you and your student, and that is it. Hush. Hush. So, just be free of distractions and interruptions. You need to have a good background. I got all of my stuff from the Dollar Tree. Everything. I got a little table of all the letters of the alphabet, English letters of the alphabet. I got some cute little owls that say welcome to class, a little ribbon thing to go around, just a bunch of junk from the Dollar Tree that is perfect for teaching 5-year-olds, that they will love it. I printed out a lot of things and got some self-laminating sheets off of Amazon. I think that they were $15. And because you can use things over and over. I have a lot of things that I do use over and over. But yeah, this isn't something that you cannot apply for this job today and have it tomorrow. I started this process, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and just now today have signed my contract. And that's why I'm making the video now, because it's official, whatever. But, I really do think that this is good for a lot of my military spouse friends. I know a lot of wives that do it and they love it. I know a lot of people that do it and they love it. If you want to know if it's a good company, I suggest you go on Glassdoor. That's what I look on for a lot of things. And they have pretty good reviews. There's not going to be any company that has stellar 100% 5-star reviews. There's always going to be some gripey employee somewhere. But for this, I would say it's not a bad, it's pretty good. I think the main con for this company is just that to interact with them, a lot of the headquarters people, they're Chinese, and it's a little bit tough. But a cool thing about this is that most of these students, they're very far beyond our little America. They've already started learning English. I have a whole list of words that my kids already know, that I don't have to teach them, because they already know this. They're 5 years old, and they already know English. I don't know any Chinese at all, so that says something. But Right now, as far as I know, you're only teaching Chinese students, but I have heard and read places that they're expanding to other countries, and so I don't know. I think it's grown a lot recently. Like I said, I had never heard of this when we lived on the East Coast, ever. But apparently it is a big thing now. So if you're interested in it, I will put I don't know how to edit a video, but I know that you can put words and stuff in here. So I will try to put my referral code down here somewhere. I don't know how to do it, but I'll Google it. And that way, if you decide that you want to do this, when you go to apply, you can put my little referral code in there. And then I think it will link me to you, and I can like email you stuff to help you. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Like I said, and trust me, I'm not knocking any kind of like anybody selling anything. You guys do your thing. More power to you, because I can't. I do not have that personality. But, you know, I'm not selling you anything. I get nothing for telling anybody any of this information. I wish I did. But I just think it's really helpful. I know that there's a lot of military spouses out there that sort of feel like they don't contribute financially. And like they just sit at home and they don't have anything to do and they get bored, and there's only so many coffee dates and so much working out at the gym you can do. So I think that this is really good for some of those friends that I have that stay at home, and stay-at-home moms. I mean, anybody can do this. Like I said, if you are motivated and willing to put in the work and you don't mind waking up early, you know, you can work an hour a week, and that's an extra, what, 14 to... I take that back. You can work an hour a day, and that I'm not doing the math to that, but that's an extra, like, $100 or something. I don't know. But, hey, it seems to be relatively easy. I'm excited to get started. I have no problem waking up early, so I can't wait. But what I'm going to do is just leave you guys with this information right here. I hope it has been beneficial for anybody that has heard of this and hasn't really looked into it, or hasn't heard of this and wants to look into it. Probably in a few weeks, I'll make another video sort of documenting how it's going so far. Is it legit, or was I gypped? Do I like it? How are the students? How are the parents? Am I getting good reviews? What can I do better? How much money have I had to invest in this? But yeah, so like I said, I'll put my referral link down here if you want to use it. That way I can talk to you about it. If not, I guess I'm going to put this on YouTube. I don't really know. I've never done a video, but I guess you can like comment and ask a question or something. I don't know. But anyways, I hope that this has been helpful. And if anyone has any questions, just comment below, or whatever it is that you do on YouTube. Okay, bye.